Please cut. Yeah, this is better.
Ladies and gentlemen, a sincere request to kindly make way and take your seats. We will not be able to begin. You will not be able to enjoy this riveting session until you have taken your seats and the aisles are clear. I request you all to kindly take your seats now.
I think you guys have to tell them, no? Right. No, why can't you, some of you just make the move? Okay, all right. Arjun, I am meeting you after about 6 months. I met you last just before Pushpa 2 was released. You were already a superstar then. Then Pushpa 2 happened. So how do I describe you now? I heard that your fans call you icon star, but I would like to know how life has changed over the last 6 months since Pushpa 2 happened.
Namaste and good evening everybody. Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you.
Before I answer your question first, I just want to say I would like to thank the government of India for conducting this wonderful summit which brings everybody in the audio and the visual world together, especially the entertainment industry. Thank you. It's a wonderful summit. To be honest, for many years it's in my heart that entertainment industry needed a summit like this, and I'm very glad it's happening now. I've seen it in other fields. I've seen it in medical fields and other expos and many conventions. I was always expecting that it has to happen for entertainment industry, and it's actually happening. And I'd like to thank the government of India for that, the respected Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi Garu, and all the officials who are behind this. Thank you.
Good. Thank you.
And you can ask your question again.
Yes, my question is that how life has changed over the last 6 months since you moved up from being a superstar. And I'm still finding out a word how to describe you.
Even I'm exploring, even I'm not sure.
Right,
By the grace of people, at least everybody knows my face now.
Yeah.
In all honesty, I'm a regional actor. I used to work in Telugu films with quite popularity among other states in the south. But now, because of Pushpa and the grace of the entire Indian audience, I've become more familiar. So it's a long journey, and I'm glad to have started this journey.
Yeah, right. Thank you. We would like to start. No discussion with you can be initiated without that iconic dialogue of yours. "मैं झुकेगा नहीं साला." Right. I mean, we had heard other iconic dialogues like, old films, Amitabh Bachchan, "मैं आज भी फेंके हुए पैसे नहीं उठाता हूँ, और मैं जहाँ खड़ा होता हूँ लाइन वहीं से शुरू होता है, और सनी देओल्स 2.5 किलो का हाथ." But this possibly would rank somewhere around that, "झुकेगा नहीं साला." Who came up with it?
It's absolutely my director, Mr. Sukumar Garu.
All right.
It's absolutely his creation.
Right. Right. As I said that at the end of the discussion we'll figure out that how do I address you. But I would take the discussion forward in a way that I would like to decipher, decode what makes an Allu Arjun.
Okay.
Right.
Something that even I'm not sure of.
Yeah,
completely.
This is outside in perspective. This is what I looked at you, and this is how I could approach the topic that, well, how is Allu Arjun is today's Allu Arjun.
Okay.
So I start off with, you have to keep reacting whether you agree with me or not. I start off, the starting point of it is, which is very important. The first set which I'm going to talk to you about, That said, the attributes what we see on screen, and I'm sure most of us would agree on that. The first and foremost is the physical attribute. Amongst the physical attributes is fitness and physique. You were one of the first South Indian stars to sport a six-pack.
Yes.
Right.
With all humility, yes. Thank you.
So tell me that how do you approach that fitness of yours? Is there a secret regime? Is there a secret recipe?
Honestly, it's about just a mindset. You know, back in the day, around maybe almost 20 years back, it was something that was never done before by any other South actor, and it said that, you know, culturally it's not accepted, and there were many taboos around that. And I knew that it's a great sign if you just do it for once. It just needs one person to break the jinx, you know. And someone motivated me to do that by saying that I don't think any South actors can come up with six packs. It's one of my actresses who I worked with said that. And then I took that as a challenge, and I just did it for my people, if I could say that.
No, but besides six packs, you look amazingly fit, and those action sequence, and I'm coming to the second attribute, dance, they often look surreal. They don't look that a human being is performing that. I know you get help of technology, but I think that without an amazing fitness backing you, those stunts, those actions are not possible. So how much do you spend on maintaining the fitness of yours? Are you very finicky about food, exercise regime, or you're just as cool as you look?
Honestly, fitness is a very key aspect for every actor, because especially being an Indian actor, you have to dance, you have to fight, and you don't know when the schedule might start up. It might start up with a song, it can start up with a fight, but you have to be physically prepared for everything. So fitness is extremely important, and a lot of practice. By the years, you know, I started at a very young age, at the age of 19, 20. So conditioning for that, you know, having so many experiences, having a lot of injuries, it makes you sharper and sharper by the years. It's extremely tough, to be very honest. It's extremely tough, but it's worth when you see it on the big screen and you have millions of people appreciating it.
So you work out every day, even when you're not shooting?
Yes, irrespective whether we have shoot or no shoot, I think physical fitness, like everybody else, not just for an actor, I think for everybody else, physical fitness is, you know, wellness, I would say.
I'm sure you don't do it the way everybody else does.
Yeah, mine could be a little extreme. It could be a little more training specific, but it's pretty much challenging for everybody. As like it's challenging for everybody, it's challenging for me too.
Okay, in the course of this discussion, I would expect you to come out of that modesty guard.
Okay.
Because Arjun, this is the first time I think India is seeing you in flesh and blood after the phenomenon called Pushpa 2. It's a great privilege for us that you come here, and I'm sure that the audience here. So I'm sure that they're very keen to know you. The second one in the physical attributes, besides fitness and physique, is dance. Right? I think in every movie that you have come up with at least one or two iconic dance moves. Now, you had started your career, I mean, initially you were a dancer, you possibly are a born dancer, but have you really honed on that skill? How much it comes naturally to you?
Honestly, all these years, it came very naturally to me. I won't lie about that. You know, since a very young age, I've been fortunately very acrobatic, and dance is very second nature, and it comes with a lot of ease, thanks to all the acrobatic skills. You know, a lot of gymnastic training, a lot of martial arts training, a lot of dance. All these help, but I've never trained for dance. I'm a natural dancer. Maybe now that age is catching up, now I feel like training even more to have the skills sharpened.
Right, you know, India, I think if I remember it correctly, the first dance sensation in North India Bollywood film was Mitunda's disco dancer. And then since then we have other iconic dancers on screen like Govinda, of late recent time Hrithik Roshan. Now I think all new heroes, they're pretty good with their steps. But I do feel that you have it in you to create another benchmark as far as dancing on the screen is concerned. Your moves don't look real, they look surreal.
Thank you, thank you.
Then come, sorry.
You're saying, sorry.
No, I'm saying, so physical attribute, dance. The third one which comes to my mind as one of your success factors is your universal appeal and versatility. I think you became almost a cross-border star since your fourth film, right? You became so popular in Malayalam film industry that people started calling you Allu Arjun from Allu Arjun.
Yes.
And you're equally comfortable in all the roles. So you've never thought of yourself as being a stereo cast in any kind of role, right?
Well, I'll keep it simple. The only thing that runs in my mind is that every movie is unique, and every movie should not repeat itself. Unknowingly, we all have our own patterns. All of us have it. We all have our patterns, but as much as possible, consciously we should, there's unconsciously we have a lot of patterns, but as much as possible, consciously we should try to remove those patterns and try to come up with something new every single time. And in such a competitive world, you have to present the best to the audience at every given point.
Right.
So that inspiration to serve people the best or serve people something new has made me versatile. I think versatile is the byproduct.
No, yeah, very nicely said. Versatility is a byproduct. I mean, if you see your movie, the 19th film, which was a blockbuster, Ala Vaikantu Pudalamu, and then, of course, Pushpa is a different genre. What I understood that, well, you picked up your roles very carefully, but you want to make it larger than life. You want to leave that lasting impression on audience's mind about the role that you just played. So these are the three physical attributes which come to my mind.
Thank you so much. To just put it in a nutshell, it's not about how good the role is or what genre it is or what frame it is in. I think the most important aspect is how much are we willing to believe in it and give it our best in it. That is the key. I would give a lot of credit of my success to that one point, if I have to put it as a point for you.
Yes, I'm coming there. So these are the physical attributes. Ladies and gentlemen, we all know that the winner is first born in the mind. So there would be a set of mindset attributes which I feel is behind what Allu Arjun today is. With some of them I have experienced myself. The first and foremost of that is never give up attitude. You had a roller coaster career, right? So on the fourth film itself, you became very popular beyond Telugu film industry. Then between the 10th and 11th film, around your 10th film, I think the dubbing market opened up. So even in North India, even in Eastern region, people started liking Allu Arjun. And in fact, I was flying yesterday. One of my co-passengers just said that she's a great fan of yours. I said, how many movies of Allu Arjun have you seen? Have you seen Pushpa? She said, no, I haven't seen Pushpa, but still she's a great fan. So, and then you had an accident, right?
Yes. Around my 10th film, after shooting for my 10th film, and I had an accident. I had a shoulder rotator cuff tear. And I was very known for my physical fitness and acrobatic skills, and when I broke my shoulder, I did have a minor tear before, and it was just a small surgery, and I was back in 3 weeks, and within the 4th week I was in the gym. So I was expecting the same, and once I went to the hospital, it was in Sydney, it was in Australia, and the doctor said, well, you have to take 6 months off. That was like a big blow for me, because we were going to start shooting in 2-3 months, and I did not have that time. And I think at that point, it was the most fearful point of my life, because I was banking so much of my career on a physical fitness. And then that's when it struck me that the physical strength and the agility and all this will deteriorate by age. And what will grow as you age is the performance as an actor. What grows with you along is actually the the artistic skills and the performance. And ever since that film, from my 11th film onwards, I started concentrating on every shot to give my best performance. And by the grace of God, or the time, nature, whatever you want to call it, by my 20th film, with all humility, I was the first Telugu actor to win a national award in 69 years. I mean, and I look back when I when I broke my hand for a very long time, I was thinking that breaking my hand was like the biggest low of my life, but that in fact is the biggest gift of my life. So I believe that everything is a gift on its way. You will just know it in time. If I hadn't broken my hand, if that accident hadn't happened, I wouldn't have won so many Best Actor awards. Apart from National Award, I also won maybe 6, 7 Best Actor awards. So that would have never happened if not for that accident. So some accidents are good.
So it's on the height side that you see that was possibly a blessings in disguise here. But at that point in time, I'm sure that you had to cope with it, with a lot of pain, a lot of anguish. So who was next to you then? Did you have a friend, family who stood by? Because a career in film met up with an accident just after your 10th film is one of the worst setbacks that could happen to anyone.
Absolutely. At that point, today, after maybe around 14, 15 years, when you're a very comfortable spot, it's very easy when you look back. But that day, during my 10th film, at a very young age, in your maybe late 20s, I just got married, and my hand broke. and I was in the middle of a film, and I was getting paranoid, and I was all over the place, to be very honest. But I genuinely give the credit to my fans, because it's their expectation, and it's my belief that they are there and they will be there to support my films, and it's their biggest blessing and the blessing of the audience, starting from my Telugu audience to all my South audience to all the Indian audience. Thanks to everybody that I could come back from that. It's very easy today, after 15 years, to talk about it, but back in the day it was one of my lowest points, which is my greatest gift in a way.
Right, there was another setback after your 18th film, where
Yes.
it flopped. You went away to a 18 months hiatus.
Yeah.
That was another one. That was self-imposed hiatus, right?
Yeah, during my 18th film failed at the box office, and it didn't fly so well. But then I wanted to take a break for 6 months. Accidentally, it happened to be, accidentally it happened to be about 12 to 13 months break. But I was planning for a 7 to 8 months break, and I wanted to introspect myself, and I wanted to take a time off, and I took a year off, almost a year, by accident though. And there was a lot of introspection being done. And genuinely, ever since that break, I think that's one of the best breaks of my life, because after that I had my biggest hit in my career and also industry record. I had Alavaikuttapuramlo, which is one of the biggest Telugu films ever. And then it was Pushpa and Pushpa 2. And I think that 1 year, did help me introspect myself a lot, and a lot of things.
So you just is introspection, or you prepared afresh, you looked at your
Everything.
mistakes?
Everything. If I had to have one takeaway in that entire year in a nutshell, earlier I was just probably I could say that I was not listening when people were saying something. I was not listening, maybe because of age, or maybe sometimes because you got complacent, or whatever the reason is. I stopped listening after a while, and at that point in that 1 year I realized that nobody's advice is a bad advice. Everywhere there's a small takeaway, and you just have to be open at any given point. You just have to be open for an idea. A great suggestion can come from a technician, can come from a light boy, it can come from your, maybe your costume assistant, or anyone. Do not disregard anyone's idea. I'm not saying we have to accept it, but the best way is to take it, process it, thank you, and give them the processed answer. The most important thing is to process every question that's thrown at you. That was my biggest takeaway.
That's a lovely way of saying it.
Thank you.
Arjun, I often feel that we forget that conversation or communication is a three-step process. You hear, you process, then you say. And in real life, you'll say that we just mix up the processing and saying. We start talking even
Absolutely. I used to reflect.
Yeah.
When someone said something, I used to reflect. But I still, every single day I get up in the morning, I think, it's everybody's human tendency to reflect automatically at any given point. I just keep telling myself, be open, listen, process, and give them a processed
Yeah,
answer.
absolutely. Brilliant. So these things, Arjun, during that introspection time, were you all by yourself or you had a mentor or a coach, somebody was guiding you?
Well, I did spend a lot of time by myself. I think solitude is the best teacher.
Wow, solitude is the best teacher.
Yeah.
Well said.
Thank you. And of course, I had a lot of help also. I believe in taking help. I believe in taking professional help. I had professional coaches helping me. I had what do you call, like a leadership coach, and also I had another family coach, and also had someone who's personally working on me at many different aspects, and that did give me a lot of introspection, and I think everybody should have a coach in their life and get coached.
That's actually.
And I'm still having coaching even now. Even now I'm taking coaching.
That is a very key winning strategy. Even I feel that when you are open to have a coach from where you were already a superstar, and when you opened up to a coach, you realized that you need a coach to take you to the next level. That itself is a winning moment, Arjun. Let me tell you that.
Thank you. Thank you.
And so that was the first mindset, as I'm saying, that you never give up. Now it's coming up, that you developed the ability to hear, listen. That is a huge change in you. The second mindset quality that I see in you is that you go all in. When you go for something, that we often say that in management we say that you must keep the plan B ready. Right, but if you keep the plan B ready, then you know that something is waiting for you. But I think for you, you never had a plan B. You just decided.
In all honesty, I've never had a plan B. I never had a plan B. It's all in or nothing. I'd rather sit at home and relax.
Yeah.
Because I told you, like I mentioned earlier, anything we do, it is not about what it is. It is how good we are at it. Today, with all due respect, there's so many people in so many fields. Say, suppose there is a designer or there is a photographer. It's not about, oh, he's just a photographer, oh, he's just a designer, oh, he's just a tailor, oh, he's just this. It's how good they are that takes them, it's the eye to the detail. It's the detail. It's the detailing that will take them to the extreme level. So I believe in that process.
Yeah. That's my third mindset, attention for detail.
Oh, thank you. I think extremely diving in is one of my personal belief systems.
So that dupatta lifting scene
Yes.
in Pushpa 2,
Yes.
I'm sure that most of us have seen that scene, and you did that, 17, 18 takes for that shot?
7. We lost count, to be very honest. It's a shot in the trailer. I don't know how many of you have seen it.
No, all of us
It's
would
the
have.
teaser. There's a sari flying out, and I catch it, and it was the first teaser from Pushpa. Well, we started shooting that shot. It's a very complex shot, and we had 70 to 80 takes. It's a very complex shot. We started in the morning around 8:30, 9. And by the time the camera was set in, and we had some 20, 30 takes already done by then, and we were going around 11:30. I was getting the rhythm of it. I knew it just has to crack any moment now, and I told everybody till we get. And after some time, they have these clap numbers. They have these takes 1, 2, 3, 4, and they finished all the 1, 2, 3, 4. They finished the ABCDs. I said, take the clap out. Whichever is the last shot is the okay take, and we're going to delay it till we get it. And around 2:30, we cracked it. I think it was around the 85th take or 78th take,
My
something
God,
like that.
my God, my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
So you get involved in all these decisions also. So I see a sense of ownership. It's not that you go to the set and act your bit and come back.
Honestly, if I have to put it, if I just have to tell you my thought process is when I'm doing the shot, there is no past, there is no present. It is just that moment now. I just have to get that shot because I am serving to God, I'm serving to people. When I say God, I mean I'm serving to the people and to the best of my ability. I want to serve the best as much as possible in my limitation.
But it's not only that short. Like even costume, the move, the choreography, etc., that you chip in, right, during your shoot.
In all honesty, Barun, today, being an actor is such a competitive job. It's not just about you acting or anything. You need to have multiple skill sets. You need to have a great script sense. You need to have a great technical sense. You need to understand markets. You need to understand marketing. You need to understand distribution. Every actor today, not just me. There's so many wonderful actors in this country from all over, Hindi cinema, in Malayalam, in Tamil, in Kannada, all over the place, all over all industries. The young people are so talented. Nobody is just an actor. Everybody comes with a set of qualities. It's like to be successful, you need to have 7, 8 attributes. Exactly to be a good actor, you have to have multiple attributes in multiple different fields.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So
they have to have an idea in every field and specialize in every field to some extent.
So how do you, interesting thing that comes to my mind is, how do you choose your scripts?
Gut feeling.
Gut feel.
Just a gut feeling. That is the highest intelligence. If you feel it, it will most likely it will not cheat you.
Right. So I think in terms of probability, you're doing fairly well. Your gut feels have been mostly correct.
Yeah, I've been very fortunate. I'm on the
So
other side.
never give up, going all in, eye for detail. The fourth mindset which I see in you, that you are always thinking big and thinking ahead of your time. So I heard you saying that, well, you don't mind the character as long as the character becomes larger than life. So small is not your way at all.
No, absolutely not. Not my cup of tea, to be honest. Because what defines, I'm just not talking about myself, with all humility. I think every person is just as big as their dreams and the efforts to chase it.
Very nice. Very
Thank you.
well said.
Thank
Because absolutely, you are as big as your dreams. And of course, you have to have the efforts to chase that dreams.
Of course, everybody's got dreams. They're just thoughts if there is no action. Action is the divine move for a dream.
And you are also always ahead of the time. I'm sure that you feel that restlessness, that you're never in the now. While on the shooting floor, etc., you're saying that you're like Arjun's eye, the real Arjun's focus, that you're only seeing the eye of the bird. But in terms of your thought process, in terms of when you introspect, when you regroup, I see that you're always ahead of the time. You're thinking that what next? Is that true?
Well, I'd put it this way. Always want to push the boundaries. There's always a glass ceiling, and there is a great thrill in breaking the glass ceiling every single time, not just for the world, even for yourself. So I believe in pushing the boundaries. I believe in taking our Indian cinema to a global level and push it to the maximum, because we admire other, with all due respect to every other film industry in the world. It could be Hollywood films, or it could be Korean films, or it could be Iranian films. Everybody, or it could be Chinese films. Everybody has had their impact on a global box office. And I also feel that, we have such a big industry as a film industry, and we've been there for like so many decades, and we've never have had a serious impact on the global box office. And I feel it's just about time. India is getting there.
Yeah.
We as a country, we're growing and we're getting there. And very soon, in the coming years, Indian film industry, Indian entertainment industry, and we as a country will make a global mark, not just in this industry, but cutting across every other industry. Indians and Indian companies and Indian entertainment, everything will have a solid impact on a global scale. And I'm a very firm believer of that.
Excellent. Arjun, so in terms of mindset,
Yeah.
I was more or less correct, and then you added a few. I am in management professional for last 35 years or so. I can safely tell you that your mindset is no less than the mindset of a very successful CEO. That doesn't make a larger than life star. So that's what I feel, that Arjun, you have in you what it takes to be a larger than life star. I don't want to cite examples that who are the larger than life stars, but beyond superstar, I feel that's where you can settle down. Now for that, only physical attributes displayed on the screen or these mindsets of a very successful CEO might just not be
CEO.
enough.
I've never been called that. I don't think by my educational qualification I'll ever be qualified for the job.
No. You see,
No, I just said it on a light. It's just a humorous note.
the management and technical schools don't teach anything. The only science which is at play while you lead a company is common sense, and that's learned everywhere.
I don't know why it's called common sense. It's the most
Because
uncommon thing.
That's right. That's right. So before I wind up, I want to come to that. These are my take on your X factors.
X factor.
Yeah. How I define X factor is that which you normally cannot see, normally cannot really define that this is the X factor. X is something that, like in maths, we used to say that an unknown number, we used to assume X. So in your X factor, I believe that your sense of belonging, the reverse sense of belonging that you have for your fans, it is as if you feel for them as much as they feel for you. Is that true? That
Absolutely. I would want, beyond money, beyond time, it's the human effort and energy that everybody comes to a theater. It's like they're moving their entire self, they're moving their bodies, they're moving, their vehicles, and they're spending so much of money coming to theaters, and I do not want to waste their time and energy on a very average product. So I always want to give them the best, and that's what has accumulated the fans. And I always try to give the audience the best possible. I believe only in one thing: the mistake should not happen in my conscious mind. If it happened unconsciously, it's an accident. But if I let it pass, then it's a mistake. So as much as possible, at least when it comes to a film, I'd never want to give a compromised product or a compromised energy. Even when I see the film, I was like, oh, we could have done this better. Oh, we could have done that better. That's always there, but I would try to give the best possible to the audience. And I think that feeling to serve them to my best ability has gotten me this far.
Yes,
if I have to say,
that's
I don't know what is the X factor,
definitely.
but if there's anything that I can put it, I would put it that way.
They don't want us to continue?
I think
No, but
I'll stop speaking.
are the lights coming up? Excuse me, the lights?
Are you guys getting bored? No. Did any of you tell them to off the lights?
Oh no, so they have decided to have just one light, and they've decided, okay. No, but if they have to have one light, it should be on you, definitely.
Thank you,
As long as
thank
I'm
you.
heard, it's good enough for the audience.
No, it's okay. It's nice. Accidents happen.
Right. So, so the fans, definitely. So I've seen the craze that South Indian fans have for their stars. I've seen them worshipping them. I've seen one of your fans has actually a room, complete couple of rooms filled up with your posters. So they treat you as God, but I see that you treat them also no less than gods, your fans. So that definitely makes it to one of the X factors of yours. The other one, I'm sure that what's happening? I don't see that people can see Arjun. Sorry, who's doing it? No, but I can't continue a discussion without the spotlight
You're
being
stealing
on.
away my thunder. You're stealing away my spotlight,
No.
Barun.
I need to, Karthik, is it, can you do something about it? Trying to fix it. Shall we wait or continue? No, now it's okay. Just let it be like this at least. So another one is obviously pedigree, you know, that you would be blessed with. And a lot of people don't know that your grandfather had acted in 1,000 films. So you come from such a family. So obviously you had that springboard effect. So you started somewhere in between. So that is definitely you.
Yes, 100%. Because I'm very fortunate that I had my entire family's support. You know, chronological order-wise, back in the state, back in Telugu, a lot of people know. Back in the south, because not many people all over the country in the national, the national audience know. My grandfather was an actor. He was a comedy actor, and he played around 1,000 feature films, which is a huge number. It's one of the highest in the country. And my dad is a very well-known producer.
Yes.
He's a very popular, one of the biggest producers in the south. His name is Allu Arjun. He's made around some 50, 60, 70 films. And then my uncle, who's a megastar, Chiranjeevi Garu, who's one of my greatest, who's also one of my greatest inspiration, and the person who probably had one of the biggest impacts on me. When you have so many stars like this in the family, it humbles you in many ways, and also it's very, very helpful when you have a support system from a family. I think a lot of my credit, I would give it to my family. You know, I'm not a self-made guy. I'm made by everybody's help. I've taken the help of my directors, my audience, my producers, my technicians, my family, my fans. I'm not a self-made guy. I've received help from each and everybody, and I will unapologetically take help as much as possible to grow. Thank you.
So Arjun, that brought me to the third X factor. You know, you just expressed it, that humility and humanity. These two define you to a large extent. You're a family man, very close to your family. You're the friend of friends. And your sense of belonging with the fans we just described. How important do you think for a star like you to have their feet grounded?
Absolutely very necessary. You know, cutting across at every level, because even when I make a film, for example, you know, I'm going to wait, you know, that for me, the key is I'm going to watch this family. One of the reasons I would attribute my films to have a wide reach is because I make it for an entire family audience of all sectors, from a newborn, not just a newborn, I meant to say from a very young child to probably 80 plus. I would want everybody to watch the film, and I keep that in my mind because I have people of that age group in my family. And those are my checkpoints. You know, I see through that, you know, the scene is not too obscene so that my 5-year-old son is not watching it, you know, because I will be making a film that I will be watching it with my family. So I think that aspect of having a family member at every age has made me understand what the audience want. And I think a large part of understanding what the audience want comes from my family.
Excellent, Arjun. So,
thank you.
Physical attributes, mindset, X factors.
I don't know if that made sense for you.
Yeah, of course it makes sense.
Okay.
It makes immense sense, not for me, for everyone.
Because I want to make movies that everybody enjoy. I want all of you to enjoy. I want your grandparents to enjoy. I want you guys to enjoy. I want your kids to enjoy. I want to make films that everybody enjoys, cut across all ages, all language barriers.
Before we move to the final round, when I ask you what next, I just want to pick your brain on what you think about awards. You know, you were the first one to win a national film award, national award for Best Actress, Best Actor, after 69 years of national film awards have been institutionalized. Yeah. And then you also have won about 6 Filmfare Awards and 50 odd awards in your life. So how important are awards for you?
Honestly, I love awards because they are the quantifiable, how do I say that? They're the very quantifiable achievements. You know, a film could come and it could just do really well, and people will forget that film over time. You know, probably I did a good film in 2006. It won't have any relevance now. But when I have an award sitting here next to me saying the best actor 2006, or the highest grosser of 2006, the award is a physical form of the achievement.
Of recognition, yeah.
It's a quantifiable achievement. So I really personally like awards, and I aim to be the best that year. Every film I do, if the film has a release that year, I try to, and I also in my mind see what are the parallel other films that are there, and I always try to do my best. And many times, very, very fortunately, in the last few years, almost many, I won't say almost, but many times I have won the best actor every time that year my film release was there. I was being very fortunate that way.
It's kind of a report card of what you're saying.
You could say that. In a way, it's a report card. It's a report card.
Right, finally, Arjun, what next?
What
coming
next?
up? A22X A6.
Yes.
You and Atlee coming together, your 22nd film, Atlee 6th.
Yes. It's my 22nd film with Mr. Director Atlee Garu, who made Jawan and many other super hit films in the South. So we've come together. I really liked the idea that he told me, and I liked his aspirations, and I felt we were like minds at many levels, and we hope to bring a very new visual spectacle film to Indian cinema.
So this is something, I mean,
it would be a very, sorry to cut you. It would be a very international presentation film with total Indian sensibilities.
That's exactly, I was again.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be Indian, come on, it's our Indian film.
Yeah, it's like I heard you saying that from local to global to
Absolutely.
universal.
Absolutely.
Right, and technology will have a significant
Absolutely.
role to play.
Absolutely.
And did you draw any inspiration from the K-dramas? That's very close to your heart.
In all honesty, everything has got an impact on me. Everything we watch, all the feed plays a huge impact on the way the world is changing so fast. Everything has got a significant impact on me. Yes, of course, K-pop, K-drama, Hollywood films, many other international films, regional films, Indian national films, everything has got a significant impact. And like you said, the only way to reach to a global level is by telling local stories. It's our local tales, because we are the stories we are told, and the more authentic we are to our storytelling, the wider we would reach to audience all over the world. That is my belief system.
Thank you very much, Arjun. We hope that this next film of yours achieves that very significant feat of an Indian cinema, making it mainstream in the global arena, completely made by Indians, produced in India. And I hope that you continue to be shining very bright and reach where people start calling you a larger-than-life star.
Thank you.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Arjun.
I hope to be open.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Do we have
What makes a star a superstar? Is it the ability to choose the right script? Or is it about the timing? Are superstars born or made? One man has shown the world that he can't be broken and he won't bend. Allu Arjun, uncut, unplugged, unscripted, decoding talents beyond borders in conversation with
Before we let the icon star go, of course the idea was to get people to do that dance step for him, but that's not going to happen. But we can have the icon star do the iconic gesture for you once. Is that possible? Yeah! दिल्ली में भी शूट करिए कोई फिल्म.
दिल्ली में शूट करने के लिए बोल रहे थे मैं.
Very soon it's going to happen. Anyway. All right then, ladies and gentlemen, many thanks for joining us here.
Just let them go.
Draws the curtains on the News9 Global Summit Waves edition. It's going to happen again sooner, bigger, bolder, stronger. Keep yourselves tuned in to the News9 Megaverse, the multiverse, because a lot more summits are going to happen soon. The icon star Allu Arjun, a loud round of applause for Allu Arjun, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, thank you so much, News9 Network, for having that enthralling session, power-packed session, and a super entertaining one. Thank you so much for joining us, to the elite panelists today, and making this session a great start to the first day of Waves, World Audio Visual and Entertainment Summit. And the action doesn't stop here, because tomorrow will be a new day, new session, and tomorrow we will be having across 8 sessions which will be spread across the day, and the action begins at 9:30 a.m. in the morning with cultural performances. We would be having many interesting sessions with industry stakeholders, right from binge watching to hyper-personalized ad revolution. Everything will be discussed tomorrow, and joining us will be many of the panelists, including moderator Palki Sharma Upadhyay, along with Amish Tripathi and other dignitaries. So stay tuned to all the information that you will get on the social media platforms of Waves, all across the social media X, Facebook, Twitter accounts of the official Waves. And after that, you can come back tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m., where the action begins at the same spot. Thank you so much for joining us on day one. Namaskar.